Okay, this is video number 2 for printmaking. This is how we're going to cut out our linoleum block that we just drew in and transferred. There's a couple things that you need to know. We're going to usually use a bench hook. This is this magnificent little metal piece that hooks to the table while you're working. And the purpose of that is to put your block on so you're cutting towards the block. Never cut towards your hand or you're going to cut your hand. But since I didn't have bench hooks to send home with you, I did give you a box top. Okay, and this is a much larger one than what you have, but I figured maybe you could fold it down and use it in this fashion. So when you're cutting, you can cut like this, and it kind of blocks it just like it would on the bench hook. And you can fold the back half down and catch it on whatever table surface that you have, so that you could see, you know, let me show you that. So I have this half folded down, and then this half is up front. So that's why I gave you a box top in with your tools. So there's a lot of different tools and things in that bag that I give you, and they all serve a purpose, so don't throw anything away. This is your linoleum cutter. It doesn't have a tip in it yet. The tips are in the back. If you unscrew, you should have 2 tips that I put in there, a bigger V-cut and a smaller. You're gonna start with the smaller V-cut. There we go. That's what that one looks like. Where is it? See that a little bit better. There we go. Okay, it's the smaller one. And then you just leave the other one in the back. You do have to return this to the school. This is a kind of expensive piece of equipment here. And the tip is very sharp. So this part right here is very sharp. Be very careful not to hurt yourself. The rounded edge here is the part that goes into the tool. So if you twist, you know, it loose, because it's going to be tight when you get it, you can see in here the little rim that doesn't have the second piece. Okay, and that's where this goes in. So you loosen it up, you put it in, and then you tighten it back. Don't squeeze it too tight, because these can get a little stuck in here. They get snug, okay? So not too tight. And then there's your cutting tool. So you're gonna set up your bench hook, okay? And you're gonna carve. And my recommendation for you, because you're gonna cut out probably most of your background, start in a simpler area, and always start with the smaller cutting tool. So as you cut away, it's going to expose that area back to the color of the linoleum. And you can go in different directions. Move your tile or move your linoleum piece. Do not try to curve all the way around in one position. You can move it around. It helps. And then you're just going to slowly carve and cut away. You can start in the background if you like, and work your way towards the more difficult areas. I also gave you a half of a piece of a linoleum for you to just play around with, okay? So if that's what you want to do to practice, that's fine. The linoleum is really soft, so you really shouldn't have too much of a problem with it. If you notice, my hand is back here. It's not in front. My hand's back here. And then my other hand is cutting away from me. Always cut away from your body. Okay. There you go. You want to try to get nice, clean cut edges. And it's okay if they're a little shallow at first. You can always go back and cut more out. So just jump in and start cutting out large gouges out of your linoleum. And also keep in mind, I only have enough linoleum for everyone to have one. So this is your linoleum piece. Try not to, I don't want to be scary, but try not to mess it up. here, here. If you notice, I have this whole area to cut out. I'm cutting out all the stuff that I colored in. So in this area, I'm going to cut out the whole little area here. And I'm going to cut out here. Careful. You don't want to tear the linoleum either. You want to slice. A nice slice in the linoleum. See, I missed a little piece, so you can see it. So that's a good thing. Too, why we colored it all in, is that you could see where it needs to get cleaned out. This is all getting cut out. And I will wait to do a lot of the background until I have the larger cutter in my hand. Turn my linoleum block because I'm doing the other side. So I'm not going to cut towards myself ever. Do cut towards yourself, be very careful, because if you were to hit your hand, you were going to take a giant chunk out of your skin. Take your time, it's not a race. You have to be precise. Okay, and I'm going to go around, I'm going to do my outline first. I'll do the inside of the cactus and do and then I'll come back around with my bigger one and cut out a lot of the stuff in the background. Okay, good luck. Make sure you work with your practice piece first.